What's going on, everybody? John Arapoli here with My MMA News, and today's guest will be fighting for the interim atomweight Muay Thai World Championship coming up here at 159 on July 22nd. I am pleased today to be joined by the current atomweight kickboxing world champion, Janet Todd. Janet, thanks for doing this. Really appreciate the time here today. Looking forward to today's conversation.
Yeah, thank you for having me.
Hey,
Super excited about the fight coming up.
So before we get into the specifics with this upcoming fight against Lara Fernandez, I do want to just ask you just about fighting in this one promotion, because it's great that they do these types of things. We're so used to, especially, over here in the United States where the UFC is real popular, where we see all just MMA related stuff. One really does a great job of incorporating kickboxing and Muay Thai and the other forms of the martial arts as well. So just what's it like for you to be in a promotion like one where they offer this type of stuff?
Yeah, I love One Championship. Not only are they promoting Muay Thai and kickboxing, which in my opinion is more exciting, but I'm a little biased. I think what I really like about One Championship is more about their values, like, being respectful, the determination, the discipline. I really enjoyed that aspect of it. I'm not much for trash talk. I respect every opponent I have because, they're allowing me to grow in my skills. So I like having sort of that mutual respect, and I don't like getting into the trash talking, which I know the UFC uses to kind of sell fights. I just can't get myself to do it. It's not in my personality. I would be horrible at it.
Yeah, absolutely. I know respect is a big thing over there. A lot different than over here in the United States with the UFC and whatnot, like you were saying there. But I do want to ask you now, still before we get into this upcoming fight, one other thing just about this this title reign, right? You are right now the current atomweight kickboxing world champion, and what a journey it's been to kind of to get to this point, because obviously, we know that you have won the belt, defended it, but to get there, right, you had Stamp Fairtech in the way there. She had defeated you earlier, actually defeated you for this championship that you're going to be fighting for here in a little bit, but then you were able to kind of get back, win a couple fights, fight her again, this time for the Kickboxing World Championship and win that. So just, what a journey, what a scripted journey, right? There's a rival in there, a lot of adversity to overcome. Just talk about that journey.
Well, yeah, the first fight that I had in One Championship was for the Muay Thai belt against Stamp. And yeah, obviously I lost, but I think it brought a lot of good experience to me. I haven't fought on a world stage like that before, so I didn't really know that much going in. And it was also my first time fighting in MMA gloves, which is definitely a lot different than fighting in boxing gloves. So it gave me some of that experience, and then also gave me confidence that, I do belong in there, and I do belong with the best, fighting the best. So it gave me confidence. And then from there on, I think the promotion had me go through like the kickboxing route because they noticed, I had good hand combinations and kick combinations. So, we started going through the kickboxing route, fighting, the previous world kickboxing champion, Kai Ting. And from that, that led to my opportunity to then fight Stamp again, since she had both the kickboxing and the Muay Thai belt. So it gave me a chance to take back one of my losses, even if it's in a slightly different martial art. So now that I got the kickboxing belt, I started wanting to get back to my Muay Thai roots and, have my redemption there, since I lost that Muay Thai belt opportunity, the first time that I came into One Championship. So, it's an exciting time for me to be able to go for that interim belt.
I know you're talking about how, transferring over from Muay Thai to, kickboxing, differences in the gloves and all that. Obviously, this upcoming fight is in Muay Thai. Do you think it's going to be difficult to make an adjustment there, or not too much?
I don't know. Training is slightly different. When we did kickboxing, we didn't, punching isn't really a thing. So we didn't work that in as much. Same with the elbows. But for this camp, it's, definitely almost every training session I'll be practicing my clenching, and I'll be working on, how to work in my elbows with my combinations, not only in my stand-up, but in the clinch realm as well. So there's slight changes to my training, but, I started off in Muay Thai, so it's where I'd like to be.
And as we talk about, preparing and whatnot, let's talk about training camp right now. Just how's your training camp going as you prepare for this fight?
Yeah, it's in about 3 weeks. I think I always have my ups and downs in camp, and it's normal for me. While I'm going through the learning stages, there's always a little bit of a struggle where I'm thinking a lot and trying to figure out how to work my timing and how to manage my distance. And then as we hone those skills in, things start coming together and things start flowing a little bit better for me, and I start feeling more confident as we get closer to the fight. So that's usually like how the camp goes. A little bit of a struggle in the beginning for a couple weeks, and then it starts feeling like, all right, this is how it's supposed to work. All right, let's do this.
And now let's talk about Lara here. Obviously, she's going to be a game opponent for you. Just talk about her as an opponent, what you've seen out of her as you've been scouting her now, as you put the final touches now on your training camp.
Yeah, I mean, this is her first time in one championship, and it's her opportunity to show her skills for the first time on the world stage. So I know I'm going to be expecting an aggressive fighter, because I've seen in other fights how she likes to press the pace with a lot of counterattacks and kind of being right in front of her opponent. She's pretty well rounded in terms of being able to throw like her hands, and she's very quick with her kicks. So I'm definitely training for that, being ready to expect her counter kicks coming back.
And now talking confidently, right, if you're going to get the win here, what's kind of the next plan? I would assume that since this is for an interim title, is the plan to then go and win the undisputed title and get to have multiple championships there?
I mean, I would like to, but, like you said, I like to focus on one fight at a time. But if there's an opportunity, if that's the direction that one championship wants to go, I would definitely like to go, unify the title, and then also be able to win my kickboxing title as well.
And is the plan then, if you are to go and obviously get this win, go get the undisputed title? Obviously, like I said, you're gonna have two different belts there, right? You'll be a double champion. Is the plan to stay active and defend both of your championships?
Yeah, I mean, that's part of being a champion, is being able to defend it. So I would definitely like to, defend. I would like to defend my kickboxing, belt next after I unify the belts, if that's the route that we're going.
And obviously, you're very accomplished in the stand-up game. There were kickboxing and Muay Thai. I have to ask this question. I'm sure you've been asked it probably many times before, but is MMA in the cards there at all? Would you ever give MMA a try at all?
My time is so limited, and I just love Muay Thai and kickboxing that I just don't have the same passion for MMA. And I feel like if you don't have that passion, you're not willing to work hard. And if you're not willing to work hard, bad things happen. So I'm going to stick with what I'm passionate about.
Yeah, no, I understand there completely what you're saying there. I guess I do want to ask this question, though. How exactly did you get involved with Muay Thai and kickboxing and that form of the martial arts there?
Compared to the girls that I'm fighting, I got into this a lot later than most people. I was in college, and I've always been an active person. I did, gymnastics and cheerleading, throughout my childhood and high school. So when I got to college, I didn't know what to do. And so I was exercising at the gym, doing the treadmill and the weights. And I was like, no, this isn't for me. This is not fun. So one of my college friends brought me to a kickboxing gym, a cardio kickboxing gym. And it all kind of started from there. Never did I think I'd be here. It's been such a ride, and I loved there were some ups and downs, but I wouldn't change it for the world.
And I do want to shift gears outside the cage. So obviously we're both very hard workers, because I'm not always just doing these. I have another job as well too. I know what the grind's like. You're actually right now, obviously you're joining us via Zoom. You're right outside of your workplace. Actually, you work as a aerospace engineer. Just talk about that. That sounds like it has to be quite the interesting job.
I always enjoyed physics and math when I was at school, and I excelled in it. And it was a good blend of both. I honestly didn't really know what to expect from aerospace engineering, but once I started taking the classes, I was like, all right, this is a good fit.
And being an aerospace engineer, that's a very obviously demanding job, something that you have to be, dialed in all the time. How exactly do you go about balancing, right, working this full-time job as an aerospace engineer, but then also going and training and preparing for world championship fights in a whole different country?
It's definitely a challenge. I have to figure out what the priorities are and being able to devote my energy when I need to. But I think what really helps me make this work is sort of my family and friends that are, my supportive system. If I didn't have, my family and friends supporting me through this, I don't know if I'd be able to balance the two.
And now I have to ask you this question. It's kind of funny. So Julia Avila in the UFC, I've interviewed her a few times, and she's actually a geologist, so she studies the Earth. And she would always talk about like different things, like when she'd go to Vegas for a fight, she'd be like, geeking out about different things in the desert. I think the one time there was an earthquake out there, and she was out there for the fight week when the earthquake happened, and all that stuff's extremely cool to her, and she like geeks out over that type of stuff. Do you ever do that? Like if you're going to fly on a plane or something, do you like geek out over the plane or different parts or things like that?
I mean, I guess I check the flight path, the altitude and stuff like that. I think last time in Singapore, when I was out there, they were flying like fighter jets. Like I just see them randomly, and I even called my coach to my window to show them. So yeah, I geek out over stuff like that. But yeah, when I get to when I actually get to Singapore and focus on the fight, it's very different. I have to be very very zen, I guess. I'd like to not think about work and kind of relax a little bit.
All right, I got one more thing to ask you with aerospace engineering, and then we'll wrap things up here. So, obviously, big debate, always been going on. Are UFOs real? You're an aerospace engineer. What do you think? Are UFOs real?
I think we can make things look like UFOs.
So pretty much by answering that, you're kind of leaving it up to the viewer's discretion.
Yeah, I mean, I'm sure there's life out there. I mean, our galaxy's freaking huge, and we can't even, find everything. We don't even know everything that we need to know about, our ocean. So I'm sure in deep space, there's something out there that we're just not aware of or have the technology to see.
All right, Jan, appreciate all the time today. I know you're on your break from your other job. I'll let you get going back to work there. Thanks for doing this again. Last thing before you roll out, social media management, sponsors, whoever you could give a shout out to. Floor is yours. Take it away.
I want to thank all the fans and coach, teammates, and everybody who makes this possible for me, especially, my sponsors and Fight Style. So, thank you. This isn't possible without you guys.
All right, Janet, thanks so much for all the time here today. Really appreciate it. Again, Janet will be fighting Lara Fernandez at 159 on July 22nd. That fight for the interim atomweight Muay Thai World Championship. So make sure you guys are checking that out. Make sure you're checking out MyMMANews.com for all of our great work. And just as a reminder, before I head out here, if you like today's interview, please make sure you go to the bottom, give it a thumbs up, subscribe to this YouTube channel if you haven't done so already. And until next time, we'll see you later, everybody.